We are here now with Charles Lofton, aka Shorty Lofton, he's just informed us that he has elementary school report cards that say Shorty Lofton, which I love that. He is here to tell us all about the Freedom Reigns program, and I'll let you first tell us exactly what Freedom Reigns is, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Freedom Reigns is a nonprofit organization that was started in 2003 by Becky Green and Dr. Ann Henderson. And what we are is a nonprofit organization devoted to improving the lives of children and adults with special needs through therapeutic riding, which is essentially teaching an individual to ride a horse. However, they get the benefit of the movement of the horse, which improves physical capabilities. It improves trunk strength in their abdominal muscles. They get the emotional bond with the horse. They get the sense of accomplishment through learning to ride a horse. And it's just one of those things that's amazing to see what it does for individuals.
Exactly. I mean, but I was reading last night and it said that just all those things that enhance flexibility, balance and muscle strength, confidence, patience, self-esteem, and then of course all of that is wrapped into physical, emotional, and mental rewards. But so you primarily, you really work with children more than?
Yes, ma'am. Our initial program in 2003 was a pilot program with 6 students from Brookhaven Elementary Schools, and we have primarily worked with children until the last year. A couple of years ago, King's Daughters Therapy Center began bringing out some of their clients and utilizing our horses and facilities. And this year we actually worked with a 65-year-old gentleman. We worked with a 21-year-old young lady. So we now, if the rider is comfortable and interested and it's safe for them, that's one of the criteria. We have to have doctors evaluate what we're doing, and if it's safe for them, we are open to work with adults and children with special needs, but primarily we work with children for the most part.
Yeah. And why don't you tell us some of the disabilities that these children might have? And
we run the gambit of it. We have children who are blind deaf. We have children with mild to moderate to severe autism. We work with individuals with paralysis. We've worked with post-stroke victims. We've worked with as young as 18-month-old babies.
Really?
That are through King's Daughters is where our youngest riders come from. And a lot of these were children with preemies or something, and they're working on their motor skills, muscle tone, and we'll utilize one of our ponies and sidewalk, holding them on the horse, letting them get the movement of the horse, and working on controlling their body movement during the walking and the gait of the horse. So we've pretty well seen most everything.
So y'all have Shetland ponies up to full-size horses?
Yes, ma'am. We have miniature horses. Our smallest is probably 24 inches tall, up to a 16-hand or full-size horse.
And what exactly? So when the child gets on the horse, I mean, I know that there's a process before they even probably get on the horse. They have to get used to the horse and the facility and the area. But what exactly do they do once is there a routine that they go through?
We try, one of the things that we're taught when we go through our instructorship program, we have to be certified through NARA to be an instructor, is you teach the rider. You have to work with who you got at that point, so different children go through different routines. Some of our children, some of our riders may not do any reining in the beginning, and we may actually have to do back riding, which is where we're riding behind them and helping to support them. And that rider's #1 benefit is getting trunk control.
Right.
Or we have some riders who, if we're working on balance, who have good motor skills in their arms, we begin to teach them. The first thing we teach our children and riders is how to stop a horse. Whoa, teach them a whoa command and how to pull back on the reins. Then we begin to teach them reining, right and left reining, and then we've got reins mounted on poles around the arena that they will reach out, stop their horse in front of that ring and reach out to catch that ring, working on their balance and trunk control. And it progresses. We now have riders who've been riding with Brookhaven Public Schools for 3 or 4 years that are riding independent. We're able to place them on a horse, walk them to the arena, and we may post 3 or 4 people around the arena, and we'll say, we need you to take your horse to Miss Ann. and that rider initiates the movement process by telling their horse to walk on, and they ride their horse by themselves to that next individual.
Wow.
So it kind of all depends on what that rider needs, what we're working on.
So everybody has an individualized program,
Yes,
basically.
ma'am.
They do it best to what that child needs or what
Yes,
that
ma'am.
person needs.
What we're working on, you have different things that you'll do for each individual. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
amazing. And how many times a week do they get to ride?
That is strictly up to the parent who sets up the private lesson, or with the school, like Brookhaven Public School comes 12 times a year. We try to get in 6 in the fall semester, 6 in the spring semester. King's Daughters riders will come in once a week. Generally, parents bring their children once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on how they're financially able to do so. And if they wanted to ride 4 days a week, they could ride 4 days a week, but it's usually once a week.
Okay. And how many volunteers do y'all have?
We, on Fridays when we have our most riders, we have about 18 riders come out on Fridays. We'll have 7 or 8 volunteers. I've got a list of probably 20 to 25 volunteers that if I need, I call on.
Can anybody volunteer?
Yes, ma'am. We ask anybody who's interested, whether you know horses, like horses, want to learn about horses.
You probably shouldn't do this if you're scared of horses.
That's okay. If you're scared of horses, we always need people to entertain the children that are
There you
waiting their
go.
turn to ride.
There you go.
So anybody who has a good heart, that's one thing you do need, because we are working with children, but wants to have a very wonderful experience, needs to come out. We give a brief little lesson to our instructors, explaining what we do, what we expect of them, and we would love to have anyone who's interested.
Is there a number of people need to call to volunteer or to get their kids signed up?
Yes, ma'am. The easiest number to reach is my cell phone, which is 601-757-0987. And for any of y'all at Facebook, we have a Facebook page that is, if you'll go in and search Freedom Reins, FREEDOM REINS, like reins on a horse reins. If you'll search that on Facebook, you can see our page and contact me through there.
All right. So if you want to volunteer, sign your kids up, and I'm sure y'all always will take a monetary donation as well.
Yes, ma'am. Always. We are run primarily 80% donation to keep it affordable for parents to bring their children to ride. So we always accept monetary donations.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you so much, Shorty. I had to say it. Even though I was trying to be formal and say Charles.
I'm not very formal.
We appreciate you so much, and we appreciate this program. And and I don't know that people understand, but there have been cases of people that are paralyzed from stroke, whatever, and learn to walk again after doing this horse therapy. Not necessarily in Brookhaven, but there are over like 3,000 or something of
Yes,
these
ma'am.
facilities nationwide. I mean, so it is something that really works.
Yes, ma'am.